During my observations at Bowen High School, located on Chicago's southeast side, I learned that it's better to never judge a book by its cover. Bowen High School, my neighborhood school, was a school that I avoided attending in 2004, which was my first year of high school. When I received the news that I was assigned to observe at Bowen, I quickly remembered the preconceived notions about its not-so-appealing history as I did years ago. Violence, gangs, high pregnancy rates, and more gangs and violence flooded my mind. I was nothing more than a bit nervous to see the horrible Bowen that was talked about. I wondered whether events like the news headlines that I had seen before would end up occurring right before my eyes. When I walked into the school, I expected to see a similar scene to the one at the beginning of Lean on Me, starring Morgan Freeman. But surprisingly, I saw none of these things. The so-called bad, gangster-filled Bowen was not outwardly existent. Students behaved like typical teenagers. Further to my surprise, Mr. Espinosa, my operating teacher, was respected by students who didn't seem to fit a so-called bad student profile. Discovering this gave me hope in dealing with students who come from the unfortunate background of gangs and violence. I observed that even if a student was affiliated or associated with gangs or violence, that they did not display it in school. Instead, they were rather open to learning the material being presented to them. Realizing that students can learn and can somewhat drop their outside issues in order to learn is an interesting and very good thing to be aware of. Because, as I am learning, with the right patience, persistence, and available presence, any child, regardless of his or her background, is teachable. I'd like to thank the faculty, staff, and students of Bowen for allowing me to observe something positive, which aided in the turn of my preconceived notions. Judging a book by its cover just doesn't pay off.